We have seen the arrest of some members of parliament regarding ongoing investigations as far as parliament is concerned, its modus operandi, and so on and so forth. Whenever somebody suspected to having gotten involved in corruption is arrested, ideally it's a good thing. However, some of us are not too excited yet. We don't want to get very excited very quickly because we have seen how things have always happened in the past. That a few people get arrested and the situation dies there, to give the public a semblance of we are doing something about it, to pretty much hoodwink the public. So we don't want to get excited yet. It's a good thing. Some people have been arrested, and our hope is that there will be a lot more investigations, but we hope that this does not become like the Mavati saga, where a few people were arrested, arraigned in courts of law, but many other powerful people were not touched. That ceases to be justice. Our hope is that this investigation will be broadened, because we have a real challenge. And we should not just do window dressing. We have a real challenge at Parliament of Uganda. My hope, as leader of the opposition, is that we get to cast the net wider if we want to clean up Parliament. And as far as I'm concerned, the clean-up of Parliament should begin with the Parliamentary Commission, as far as I'm concerned. That's where problems start from. I have, for example, written to the Speaker of Parliament this morning, and I'm asking the Speaker of Parliament, when does the Commission meet? I became leader of opposition in January of this year. According to Section 2 of the Administration of Parliament Act, according to our rules of procedure, the leader of the opposition is a member of the Commission. Now, I have learned that there are some quiet meetings of the Commission that have been happening in the Speaker's office, usually with the backbench commissioners. Now, how does that become a meeting of the Commission? Because as leader of the opposition, I am maybe what you would call a front bench commissioner. That's why we have backbench commissioners. But I've never been invited for a meeting of the Parliamentary Commission. And yet I understand there are some clandestine meetings that keep happening because people are recruited. That can only be approved by the Parliamentary Commission. When you read Section 6F of the Administration of Parliament Act as amended, the Parliamentary Commission is supposed to consider revenue and estimates of Parliament and then approve the budget of Parliament before it goes through the other processes, the committee, and then plenary. So in the letter I've written to the Speaker, I'm asking, did the Commission meet to approve the Parliament budget of 2024-2025? If so, why is it that as the leader of the opposition, I was never invited? Is there something that the Commission is hiding from some of its members like myself? Are they keeping me out of the Parliamentary Commission meetings because I ask too many questions? And yes, I will ask those questions because that's my duty. My duty is to keep the government in check. I'm a full member of the Commission, and it's important that I get to know some of the happenings. Members come to me as LOP, and they have complaints. Committees are not properly facilitated. They cannot, some of them need to go to different districts to carry out their work. But each time they request for that, they are told there is no money. How can there be no money for committees to do their work, but there's billions of shillings available to the Speaker for corporate social responsibility? How? How does that make sense? There's plenty of money available for people to be given service awards. All of these are discussions that are meant to happen in the Parliamentary Commission. unfortunately, some of us are kept and locked out of the Parliamentary Commission, which is illegal because I am a member of the Commission. And so I want to know, and that's why I've written to the Speaker, I want to know, did she or anybody else amend the Constitution, amend the Administration of Parliament Act and our rules of procedure to say now the LOP is no longer a member of the Commission, because the law is very clear? Are they bothered by the questions that I'm asking, and so they don't want me to ask those questions in the Commission meetings? So that's the challenge, and that's why I'm saying, as some members of Parliament are being arrested, we need to broaden the investigation of Parliament of Uganda, beginning with the Parliamentary Commission, because that's where lots of things are happening surreptitiously and clandestinely. You see, if Parliament is to function effectively, it has got to be accountable, one, to members of the Parliamentary Commission, because that's the top organ of this institution. Number two, it's got to be accountable to all members of Parliament. That's why they are raising questions. But finally, it has got to be accountable to the general public. It's important that that gets to happen. So the tendency for the Parliamentary Commission to operate clandestinely without involvement of members of the Commission raises a lot of suspicion. And this has got to be addressed. You know, the Speaker of Parliament always says that we are a people-centered Parliament. My hope is that this does not just be a slogan, because it seems like a slogan. It has got to be reflected in how we operate and how accountable we are as an institution. So I thought that it's important for this to be out there, because we're a public entity and we must operate publicly. We are public officials. As leader of the opposition, I'm not just accountable to my party NUP that nominated me for this position. I'm not just accountable to the opposition, which I lead in Parliament. I'm accountable to the entire Parliament. I'm accountable to the entire country called Uganda. And that's why I'm asking questions about how taxpayers' money is being utilized or misutilized. So we, at least in my case, I am not going to keep quiet whenever I see things going wrong. I'm not going to keep quiet when the Commission is operating like a small clique. Because the Commission is not just these few backbench commissioners that meet, distribute money amongst themselves. They meet to approve recruitments of several people, some of whom we understand are many of their relatives. They meet to award contracts. Huge contracts. In some cases where there's even conflict of interest, because some of the companies that are awarded contracts belong to people who sit in some of these small meetings. And maybe that's why they don't invite some of us for these meetings, because we shall ask questions. So I would like to appeal to the leadership of this institution. Let's be transparent. Let's be accountable. Let Parliament work as an institution and not somebody's small kiosk or small property. Because that's why we're having a challenge in this country. That's why there's billions of money, you know, running on different accounts for personal work, and yet committees do not have money to operate. So it is something that I am challenging. It is something that I'm not going to keep quiet about, and I'll not allow anyone to intimidate me, because I'm not here at the invitation of anybody. As voted for by the people of Nakawa West, nobody in this building invited me to be MP. The people of Nakawa did vote for me. And number two, my party nominated me to become leader of the opposition. It was not at the invitation or wanting or liking of anybody here. And so I'll keep speaking out so that we clean ourselves up. All right, let me see Shamim's hand. Olero njagala kwogera ku bintu nga 3 okusookera ddala tulabye ababaka ba Parliament be batandise okukwata bali eyo mu kaduukulu kubatuulira aliwo okunoonyereza ku ssente y'omusolo ku nguzi ku bubbi obuli wano mu kizimbe kino ekya Parliament ya Uganda. Weewaawo kirungi okunoonyereza bwe kuba kutandise, naye efe abamu tetugenda kukyamuukirira kaakati kubanga twabiraba ne mu mabaati baakwatayo abamu abanene bo ne babaleka. So kati fe abamu tetunnasanyuka kiri awo. Twagala okunoonyereza kuno kwongere okugaziwa. Nze mu kulaba okwange obuzibu bwa Parliament yaffe eno obutandikira mu Parliamentary Commission ke kakiiko akakulu akatwala Parliament ya Uganda eno, akakiiko kentuulako. Akakiiko ako si keerufu, ebikolwa byako si birambulukufu. Mpandikidde Speaker ku makya ga leero nga mulaga amateeka, ssemateeka yaffe, Administration of Parliament Act, Rules of Procedure. Nze nga Leader of Opposition ndi member wa Parliamentary Commission okuva mu January yonafuuka Leader of Opposition, neesiitibwangako mu meeting yadde n'emu eya Parliamentary Commission, ate nga mpulira nti batuula mu nkukutu mu office ya Speaker. Ayita ba backbench commissioners abo naga nti kati eno ku Parliamentary Commission ne basalawo bye basazeewo ku ssente empitirivu. Ekyo kikyamu, era mpandikidde Speaker nga mubuuza lwaki Parliament baagala okugitwala nga akaduuka k'omuntu omu. Eno Parliament nze ndi full member wa commission, neesiitibwa mu meeting ezo kubanga oba oliawo batya ndi nja kubuuza ebibuuzo ebikambwe. Ebibuuzo byo nja bibuuza kubanga buvunaanyizibwa bwange. So mubuuzizza nti naye kaakati commission yeyina okwaprovinga budget eya Parliament. Naye mpulira baatuula mu nkukutu ne bajja approvinga ne bateekamu bo bye baagala. Bwe batyo nno bwe bayisa ssente nti kaakati beewadde ono service award ne bazeewa ne bagaba zi contracts, ate nga contracts ezimu bazeegabira bo nga bo kampuni zaabwe. Kyovudde abatuula mu nkukutu, fe abalala tebatuyita. So sigenda kutuula awo nsirike nga ndaba ebikyamu bitambula. Obuzibu awo we buva. Parliamentary Commission erina okubeera ennambulukufu obulungi kubanga zino ssente zaamuwa omusolo. So Speaker mubuuza lwaki siitibwa mu commission meetings zino, lwaki bayisa ebintu ebyenjawulo ne bawa abakozi bangi emirimu abamutuulira baŋŋanda zaabwe naki, lwaki nze tebampita mu meetings ezo ate nga ndi full member wa commission, ne beegabira zi contracts, ne beegabira ssente n'ebirala bingi. So mubuuza ki kye bagezaako okukweka nga bakikweka member wa commission nga nze. Commission oba ne Parliament yaffe eno bw'eba yakutambula bulungi mu ngeri nnambulukufu erina okubeera accountable. Erina okubeera ne accountable eri bamemba ba Parliament, erina okubeera accountable eri bannayuganda bonna kubanga zino ssente za bannayuganda. Kyenyamiza abamemba abamu bantuukirira munnange naba NRM kabangamba naye komiti zaffe teziyambiddwa kimala kukola mirimu gya committees zino. Komiti zino gende eyo obaolya mu zi districts okunoonyereza ebintu ebyenjawulo, naye olusi baba baagala ne zi costers oba kyogenda kutambula ne bagamba tewali ssente. Kati tewali ssente kuddukanya mirimu gya committees, naye waliwo ssente buwumbi na buwumbi eza corporate social responsibility owa Speaker wa Parliament. Tuziraba zi billions bateeka ku akawunti z'abantu ab'enjawulo, abamu batuula ne beegabira zi service award, naye nga committees zo ziri zibonaabona tewali ssente zimala kuddukanya buvunaanyizibwa bwa zi committees zino. Kati ze ŋŋamba nti kino kikyamu era tetugenda kikkiriza. Era abo abanoonyereza bw'aba bali serious nga bali mu kunoonyereza ku Parliament batandikire wano mu commission etuula mu nkukutu, fe abamu tebatuyita ne bayisa be bayise, ne bayisa ssente zitategeerekeka kuba kati budget yakayisibwa. Budget ya Parliament erina kusooka kuyisibwa mu Parliamentary Commission ne tutuula ne tugikubako ebirowoozo nti wano wagendewo ssente mmeka, eno office efune ssente mmeka. Mpulira nti baatuula mu nkukutu mu office ya Speaker, nze tebampita ate nga ndi member wa commission. So neebuuza ku lwaki, biki bye bakweka bye bataagala ntegeere oba mbuuza ebibuuzo ku nsonga zino ezimu. So nga Madamu Speaker bw'atera okugamba nti tukolera bannayuganda, alina kyatera okugamba nti we are a people centered parliament. Ekyo tukirina kubeera just kigambo kukyogera kusanyusa bantu. Tubeera tutya people centered parliament nga tetuli accountable eri abantu, nga tetuli beerufu, nga tetuli balambulukufu, ng'ebikolwa byaffe bya mu nkukutu. Olaba kati obikweka naffe bamemba ba commission, kati ani anaategeera ekigenda mu maaso ku ssente y'omuwoomusolo? So nze sigenda kusirika, kubanga abantu bano siri leader of opposition kubanga baagala nnyo mbumbeere, nedda si be bannonda. Abantu bannakawa baasooka okunnonda nenzija mu parliament, kibiina kyange ne kinsindika okubeera leader of opposition. So siriiwo lwa kisa kya muntu yenna. So sirina gwe ngenda kwegayirira, sirina gwe ngenda kutiiririra. Buli omu jamuwa ekitiibwa kye, naye sirina gwe nja kutya nga mbuuza ebibuuzo ebikwata ku ssente y'omuwoomusolo, naddala wano ku parliament wentuula. Mwebale nnyo.